special. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. This is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life, and it feels really awesome. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. I tried to do this about 5 years ago. I started comedy 8 years ago. 5 years ago, I was gonna record an album, make a show, and I was filled with spite and rage and overconfidence, all right? And that show was gonna be called Thanks for Leaving Me, Dad. Yeah, and now I'm 26, and I realize I don't give a shit about that man. So, here we are. We're gonna call this one Deep in the Woods. Because I realized that I truly just value a dirty joke more. So we're gonna have some fun. I am stoked that you're all here. Let's fucking do it! All right, gang. I am in a weird point in my life. I'm very confused. I'm in what you would call a transitional period of my life. And by that, I mean I got laid off from my day job. I did. I got laid off from my day job. It kind of made sense, though. Like, I'm not mad at them. I got laid off, basically, because I ruined the vibe at work. I did, and I had a very silly job, okay? In my day job, I worked at a spa. I should not work at a spa, okay? You walk into the spa expecting relaxation, and then it's me behind the counter. And I'm there, and I'm like, hey! Welcome to the spa! You know, that's not nice. Like, I'm standing back there folding towels. It's like I'm gonna take them, twist them up, and start snapping them at you. That's more my vibe. Yeah, I worked at a spa. Me. This guy. I'm the face of wellness. I would get one 15-minute break a day. I'd go outside, I'd smoke 2 cigarettes. I did. I worked at the spa, and I love cigarettes and beer. You'd think you were going into the eucalyptus-scented sauna. It was just me outside blowing menthols in. Yeah, I worked at a spa. I was so excited on my first day. I was like, who are my coworkers gonna be? What's it gonna be like? And I walked in, and it's exactly what you would expect in Victoria, BC, okay? It's tiny little white wellness girlies, right? You know the ones, like they're going to school for yoga and acupuncture and Reiki, right? Magic. And then I walk in, and I look around, and I go, oh, I'm the diversity hire. So that's good. I'm very confused about a lot of things in my life. Also, I'm very confused sexually, obviously. It's strange for me. Personally, I identify as regretfully heterosexual. I am not thrilled about it. It's weird for me because I was raised super open, right? And the queer community means so much to me, okay? The queer community are my best friends and my family. I'm best friends with 10 lesbians, okay? And I love them with all my heart. We are in a group chat that's called Homos Plus Emily, scissor emoji. And I know that they all think that I'm one of them, and I just haven't figured it out yet. And they're waiting for the day they can just scissor out the plus Emily, and we can all just be homos. But I'm standing my ground, okay? I'm here. I'm not happy about it. It's confusing for me because I was raised super open, right? I was raised in basically the only liberal family in Red Deer, Alberta. Right? That's weird. Yeah. You can't cheer for Red Deer. That's a hate crime. It is. It was awesome though, right? I was raised is so open. I was raised by a single, liberal, feminist, atheist, disabled mother, all right? My mom ticks all the boxes a white lady can, okay? And she's a freaking badass. I love her so much. She's the strongest woman I've ever met in my life, all right? Yeah. She's absolutely incredible. She became disabled when I was 8 years old. She broke her pelvis. And she gets up every single day and she'll be in a wheelchair or she walks with a cane. And she lives those days as though it was her last. And she's really taught me to value that every day in my life going forward, okay? Do you want to know how my mom got the broken pelvis? Yes. It's because she got fucked too hard by my stepdad, Tony! Nah, it was a serious car accident on Highway 2. But Tony likes that joke a lot more. When I moved out, like, I'm the baby of the family. I'm the youngest, obviously, right? So when I moved out, my parents got this little wiener dog to replace me. And he's so cute. His name's Oliver, and they'll FaceTime me with updates about him, and it's so cute. I go, "Hi, Oliver." And then one day, my mom FaceTimed me, and she said, "Emily, something bad happened." And I went, "Oh, no." And she said, "Oliver became paralyzed from the waist down." And I was like, shit. And this happens to wiener dogs a lot, right? They have weak spines. It's very sad, okay? But I'm such a piece of shit on the phone. The only thing I could say, I was like, "Mom, Tony's gotta stop fucking you guys." Tony doesn't like that joke. Right? She raised my sibling and I on the belief of you can love whoever you want and you can do whatever you want. And I think that's the right way to raise your children. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So my sibling came out to our family as queer and trans at quite a young age, and we were like, hell yeah. Of course, we love you, this is you, we accept you, right? But because of this upbringing, and because I really like to be a part of things, I was convinced for the first half of my life that I was bisexual. I would walk around and I was like, I'm gay. Definitely a little bit gay, right? I was like, I love to watch Glee. And then it was like, okay, Emily, if you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta face the puss. And I was excited, okay? I was 21 and I got picked up by a hot lady and I was like, this is my time to show my moves, let's go. And it's steamy, okay? And then I get down there and it's me and the puss, right? Right? It's me and the puss, okay? And I look at it and I instantly go, oh no. Never in my life have I been impressed by straight men until that moment. Because I looked at it and I just realized that I respect it too much, okay? I got down there and it felt like I should be wearing a poppy. I looked at it and I was just like, thank you for your cervix. I'm not needed here. So I fucked dick. I'm not thrilled about it. But it's easy, you know? Men think dick's a big deal. They're like, whoa, you know? And you're like, calm down, women can squirt too. You're not special, right? Because dick's easy. Dick's like Wordle, right? We can all do it. Try it every day. If you get it wrong today, try again tomorrow. You're fine. You can teach your grandma. It's fun for everyone, right? But the puss is complex, man. That thing's like a cave of wonders, right? You get down there and there's rules. First off, you have to formally introduce yourself to it. You have to get down there and say, hello, my name is Emily Rose Woods. Formerly Emily Rose Bethune. It's a thing with my father. Don't worry about it. Right? And then you look at it and you gotta do facial recognition. You gotta scan the thumbprint. You gotta put in the 4-digit code, right? And then you gotta twist this, turn that. It's like, bop it, okay? And then you're in there, but you're in the dark and you're going for a while and you don't know where you're going, okay? And then you get to a stream and a troll's there and he's like, answer me riddle! And you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I'll keep going, right? And then it's like Frogger and you're trying to cross the road and you're like, da-da, 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 da-da. And then you get to the end and Bowser comes out and he's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, I'm straight. I'm straight. I had to formally come out to my parents as straight. And they were pissed. I had to sit them down. Can I use you? Is this good? Okay. Your stepdad, Tony. Okay. You're my mother. Seated. Perfect. All right. And I come into the room, right? And I'm like, Mom, stepdad, Tony, I've got some news. I've been doing some discovering in my gap year abroad. And I learned something about myself. And Mom, I know that this is not how you raised us. And I'm sorry. And Tony, I hope that you can just stick around. And I don't know if this is something that I'm proud of yet, but I hope that one day it can be and that you can be proud of it as well. Mom, Tony, I like dick. And my mom went, no! No! I did not go through 3 divorces for my daughter to like sucking dick. I don't even like sucking it. That's the worst part, man. I did recently suck a dick, though. I did. And I'm still unpacking what happened, okay? I was in a bit of a dry spell. I was doing a week where I was headlining comedy clubs in Vancouver, and I felt so cool, right? I felt top of the world. I was like, I'm a big deal, right? And I'm staying at my friend Randy's apartment while she's out of town. I have an apartment in Vancouver all to myself. I'm like, I'm gonna break the streak while I'm here. It's gonna happen. So, I'm at a bar down the street, and I get talking to this guy, and it's going well, and then he says, can I walk you home? And I go, sure. And he walks me home. We start making out, and I was like, this is awesome. I think it's gonna happen, right? But I stop him, and I go, hey, man, do you have a condom? And he said, no, I'm sorry, do you? And I said, no, I don't know where Randy keeps them, right? And typically I'm like a chill girl and I'd be like, what the hell, let's do it, right? But I looked at this man, and sometimes you look at someone and you're like, I've never had chlamydia, but I feel like you're the one who's gonna give it to me, right? And then this guy goes, oh, well, you could always just suck my dick. And I went, twist my arm, okay. So I'm sucking this dick, right? And there's 2 strange things that happened, okay? First off, I sucked this dick for a really long time. Now, folks, to all my fellow dick suckers in the audience, I say that not as a slur. How long is too long to suck a dick? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? 15? Respectable. I like it. Folks, I sucked this dick for an hour. Don't clap for me. I'm a feminist. But I like to get a job done, all right? Another weird thing that happened, all right? The whole time I was sucking this dick, I was wearing jeans. This man never removed my jeans. I sucked a dick for an hour in jeans. I was doing cardio in jeans. It looked like a fucking Levi's Working Man's commercial, okay? And I'm down there and I'm sucking this dick, right? And 20 minutes in, I hear this noise. I hear... And I look up, and this man is vaping. And I went, no way. And then he pulls this little fucking pink strawberry ice elf bar out of his mouth. And I pull his little fucking pink strawberry ice dick out of mine. And I go, who told you could vape in Randy's apartment? You can totally vape in Randy's apartment. But it's the principle of it, okay? And he goes, I'm sorry, I just needed nicotine. If you need nicotine that bad, grow up and smoke a goddamn cigarette, all right? Ash on my head like I deserve. Make it dangerous, okay? But I went back to sucking this dick, which I think is a testament to hard work and bad skills. This man did not come, all right? He never got there. At about an hour, I popped up. I looked at the clock and I said, hey man, it's getting a little pruny down here. I think I got a tap out. But the whole time I was doing this, I was thinking of Emily, right? I was like, this guy's gonna reciprocate. This is gonna be awesome for me afterwards, right? So I go, hey, you know, we could do a little swap, a little switch. My turn, right? And he goes, oh, babe, I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I think I should just go home. And I went, nah. You put on some jeans and you get down there. I've been trying to take better care of myself, right? I'm trying to get into some self-love, and man, it's tough out here, you know? So I thought I'd try out acupuncture. I was like, maybe these wellness girlies are onto something. And if there's one thing I like in this world, it is spending other people's money, okay? And I had health benefits. So I went, what the hell? Let's spend it. Let's see what's up. And I book an appointment online with a man named Michael. And I walk into the clinic and I go, hi, I'm Emily Woods. I'm here to see Michael. And they said, your appointment is with Mikhail. And I said, that makes sense. And then I get ushered into a small room with Mikhail, and he sits me down and he goes, so why are you here? And I said, I don't know, just wanted to try it out. And he went, oh, what seems to be ailing you? And I said, not much, I just want to see what happens. And he went, oh. And then he made me meditate with him for 5 minutes, which I did not ask for. And then he took my pulse, stares me deep in the eyes, and says, you are an incredibly damp person. Now, folks, I don't know if anyone's ever gotten that before, but what the hell? And also, like, I am damp. I was like, I've been looking for the word my whole life. I am the damp woman. And then he goes, okay, we're gonna go on with your procedure. I'm gonna leave the room. Please undress to your comfort level, okay? Now, folks, I've had massages before, right? And I feel like I'm a bit of a massage pro. And when I get a massage, I am in full nude, okay? I don't know about the rest of you, but that's the way I like to do it, okay? So I assume acupuncture is like that. And I take everything off, and I'm under the sheet, but I'm face up, and there's a fluorescent light above me. And I go, interesting. And then Mikhail knocks on the door and he goes, hello, Emily, are you ready? And I said, yes. And he comes in and he walks in and he instantly lifts up the sheet. And he goes, oh no. don't do this. And I said, I'm sorry, should I cover up? And he went, well, it's already all out. And then he proceeds to put like 300 needles in me, okay? Like he's putting needles in my bush like it's a bird's nest, okay? And then he goes, okay, we're gonna wait for 30 minutes. And he goes and sits in this little cuck chair in the corner and just watches me. While I'm on the table looking like fucking Pinhead from a porno, okay? And then finally the bell on his iPhone dings, and he gets up, and he starts taking the needles out of me, and I'm like, thank God. And then he says, okay, how do you feel? We're all done. And I said, buddy, I feel damper than ever. What the hell? To get into wellness, though. I'm trying to take care of myself and love myself. It's hard being a lady sometimes, man. It fucking sucks, you know? Society doesn't want us to succeed sometimes, but hell yeah, we are. Fuck that. So I've been trying to own it. I've been trying to love this body that I'm in, all right? And I've been trying to reclaim the word fat. I'm trying to use the word fat often. I'm trying to walk around and be like, yeah, I have a fat body. I'm a fat person. That's fine, right? And then sometimes people get uncomfortable about it. And someone came up to me and they called me a person of size. And I went, I don't think we need to be inclusive right now. Like, you're calling me a POS. Just think about it, you know? But, yeah, I'm trying to fuck, though, right? I'm definitely trying to fuck. It's tough for me, because I'm a horny lady. Do we have any other horny ladies in tonight? Fuck yeah, let's get our pussies wet, let's go. It's our time, okay? I am a very horny lady. I have an incredibly high sex drive and incredibly low physical stamina. And folks, that's a bad combination, okay? Naturally, I'm quite submissive in the bedroom, just out of convenience. I think I could get on top if I just had more core strength. Every time a man puts me on top in bed, I just flip him like a wrestler. I do. I actually got a personal trainer just so I can finally peg a man. I would love to peg a man, okay? Yeah, we got some peggers right here. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I've never pegged a man. I swear to God, I've never pegged a man. And I know you all look at me and you're like, she's pegged before. I haven't. I swear to God, I've never pegged a man in my life. I've never pegged a man for one reason. I know I would like it too much. Right? Like, I think if I could properly, like, fuck a man, right? Like, if I could take his little bald head and palm it like a basketball and just fucking dunk it, right? If I could fuck a man, that would unleash an evil inside of me. I would be far too powerful. If I could fuck a man, I could run this fucking country. I could. Honestly, maybe I should just fuck Trudeau, you know? It would be so good, I would grab his little hair, I'd be like, this is why your wife left. I'm doing you all a favor by not pegging. You're welcome. I do love fucking bald men. I do. I do. There's something special about them. You deserve credit, bald men. Give it up for bald men. Oh, beautiful. Wonderful, excellent. I think that they're incredible lovers, all right? I think as women, when we have sex with bald people, we get a very funny feeling that comes over us. All right? We get a bit of a maternal instinct. Stay with me. There was this moment where I was having sex with a bald man and he went down on me and I looked down and I went, oh my God, I'm crowning. I love making sex funny and silly. I think it's such a silly thing and we should have a great time when we do it, right? Like when men with hair go down on me, I like to do what I call the ratatouille. I grab their hair and I'm like, I'm cooking the meal. Yeah, I'm a horny lady. I'm fucking. What the hell's it to ya? I'm trying to do it a lot, as much as I can, all right? In the pandemic, I was fucking this weak man, all right? Because I love to fuck weak men, all right? I refuse to fuck alphas because they've already won too much in life, right? Like, you can't also win this, okay? So I fuck weak men, betas, soft boys, you, sir. You know? And they're great, I love them, right? Like, I want to know that I can snap you like a twig. You can't kill me, but I can kill you. Like, my dream is to have your face between my thighs and just like, you know? Like, we've all thought about it. We've been like, I could. But I love fucking a weak man, all right? I do, they're great. They're so lovely. But the best thing about them is also the worst thing about them, and that's the fact that they respect you too much. All right? Now, I walk around in my day-to-day life and I'm like, fucking do it. Respect me, right? But sometimes you're alone in private and you're like, fucking do it, you know? Disrespect me. And they're like, no, you're so talented and nice. And I'm like, no, I'm a dumb bitch, say it. And I was seeing this weak-ass man, okay? All he wanted to do was make love to me. He just wanted to look into my eyes and come. Gross. Disgusting. Why do you want to look into my eyes when we all know where the best view is? Go get it, okay? Second, how are we supposed to make love if I don't love you? Grow up, okay? So I'd always try and amp him up. I'd be like, come on, let's do it. Like, looks like fuck, right? And then one night he's like, okay, Emily, I'm ready. Tonight's the night. I was like, hell yeah. And he went, yeah, tonight's the night. Tonight, I'ma come on your face. And I went, oh, interesting. That is not what I was looking for. But I really wanted to be a good partner, so I went with it, okay? And he gets into position, and I get into position. Big question for you all. What face do you make when someone's about to come on it? Because you have options. Do you go for a classic thumbs up, good luck, babe? Hope it's a big one. Should you be like, I'm in the splash zone? Do you do that Sandra Bullock movie? You know, cover the eyes, protect yourself. I did that one. He loves Sandy, right? And we're there, and he's like, ooh. That's so gross. What is that? I want to come on your face. He's like, ugh, ugh. And at the last second he goes, no! And he shoots over my head and into my hair. And I went, how dare you? I wash that once a week. And he went, I'm sorry, babe. I looked into your eyes and I realized that you're too intelligent for this. I'm too intelligent. I'm not too pretty or too sexy. I'm too smart to have cum on my face. And I didn't even want cum on my face. And now you tell me I don't deserve cum on my face? That is all that I want. But we had to go back to making love, right? Because this is a pandemic. I didn't have many options. I'm like, what the hell? Okay. And it's boring. And then one night he rolls me over to my side. And I was like, whoa. He's taking charge. Like, hell yeah, let's go, right? And then, folks, he put it in my butt. Now, hecklers, I would like to make it clear to you tonight that I am not anti-butt stuff, all right? I believe that there's a time and a place for it, but you should warn me. You should warn me so that I can prepare on behalf of both of us. That's just common butt stuff courtesy, all right? But like I said, I wanted to be a good partner, all right? So I let him do it. And after a little bit, he pulls out and he goes, hey, babe, can you suck my dick? And I went, hey, babe, can you wash your dick? It was in my butt. To which he replied, no, it wasn't. To which I replied, I'm pretty sure it was. And he said, nah, babe, it wasn't. I would never do that to you. I think anal is disgusting and disrespectful to women. And I said, it was in my butt. And he said, that's impossible. It felt the same. So, folks, I'm here with you tonight to share a fact about myself that I learned that evening. That fact is that either I have an incredibly tight pussy, or I have a gaping damp asshole. Thank you. We're gonna try this next one because I like it. So if you couldn't tell, I'm a child of divorce. Obviously. And it's fine, you know, I think divorce can be very silly. Round of applause if you're a child of divorce. It's a lot in tonight, hell yeah. And you know, in a divorce, you usually take a side, like round of applause if you're team mom. Okay. Round of applause if you're team dad. Okay. Round of applause if you're team other mom. Lesbians can get divorced too. It's just not as often. Gay men can also get divorced. They just usually open it up to a third. I'm team mom, of course, you know, and my dad was a piece of shit, right? He is. My favorite fact is that my mother refuses to speak about him by his name or call him my father. She only refers to him as fat bastard. In conversation, colloquially, she'll be like, oh yes, I remember when fat bastard used to do this. Incredible, all right? That's the only time I will accept fat as a shame. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. It's so funny, right? And my dad was the worst, and my mom, she raised us so well because she wanted us to love our dad and she wanted him to love us. So for 15 years of my life, she was like, your dad's a good man, all right? And then when I was 15, I figured it out. And I was like, oh boy, here we go, all right? But I think it can be very funny being a child of divorce. I think it's a lot like being the drugs in a drug deal. All right? You spend a lot of time in the back of a Walmart parking lot being passed between cars with very little conversation. One person owes the other one a lot of money. And eventually the one person, you know, they have to give it up or else something bad could happen. They could end up in jail, you know. They could kill themselves, who knows, right? So I am proud to say that my father is 11 years clean and sober of me. Very good. Good job, everyone. We're nearing the end, and I'm so thankful to get to be here tonight. Victoria means so much to me as a city, okay? I moved here 4.5 years ago, and it's really changed my life. When I was 18 years old, I moved to England to go do a degree in acting, all right? If any of you have children, do not pay for them to do that. It is not worth it, and they will be 40,000 pounds in debt. Not dollars, pounds, okay? I had to come back to Canada when the pandemic happened, and it was sudden, and I was trying to get back into my footing, and I was trying to find my Canadian identity again, because I had been there for 4 years. I came back and I had this stupid British accent, and everyone thought I was faking it, and I sounded like such a fucking asshole, all right? I'd walk in, I'd be like, all right, mates, how we doing? And everyone was like, shut up, Emily. And I was like, I can't stop it. I'm sorry, okay? So I was trying to come back to my Canadian roots, like living here. I never truly felt like a Canadian again for a while, all right? Until the day that I got fucked in a curling club. Thank you. I was on tour in Alberta, all right? And I was at a bar after, and a man asked to come home to my house, and I said, no, can't we go back to yours? And he said, no. It turns out it's because he was married. But that's his problem, not mine, am I right? Hell yeah. And then he looked at me and he went, don't worry, I know a place. And we walked for 8 blocks and we show up at the doors of the Lloydminster Curling Club. And I went, no way. And I looked at him and he pulled the keys out of his pocket. And he said, don't worry, I pebble the ice. Now, folks, that's an incredible statement, okay? And in this moment, every bone in my body is like, Emily, we gotta go, get out. This is a dangerous situation. But my brain, it stops me and it goes, I don't know. Think of the joke. My brain goes, this is gonna sound really funny tomorrow, and you're not a dirty liar. So I did it. I fucked him in the middle of the curling club. It was not good. So this is a point in my life where I'm having very boring, very heteronormative sex. You know the kind. Sex isn't over till the man comes. That sort of thing, right? And I'm there and I'm waiting for it to finish, okay? And I've done my Kegels. I've done my moves, right? I'm like, tick-tock, come a clock, buddy. The Iceman needs to cometh. And I'm racking my brain as to how to get him there, and then it hits me, and I look back, and I go, hurry hard! And he came instantly. Now, folks, I have one final story to tell you. So like I said, when I was 18, I moved to England all by myself. And it was cute. I went in strong, but I did not know what I was in for. So I was a very good kid in high school, okay? I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't have sex, I didn't party, right? And I moved to the UK, and man, do the Brits love those things. I walked in and I was like, oh boy, do I love beers and cigarettes and sex. This is awesome. All right? But one thing they don't tell you about when you move to England is the wildlife, all right? The foxes, right? Have you heard of these? No, they look exactly like they do in cartoons, all right? They're just bright orange little cat dog guys, and they're a pest over there. They just run around and they eat your trash and they make a mess. And no one tells you that every night at 3 a.m., the foxes have sex, and this is what it sounds like. No one tells you that. And sometimes you move to a very dangerous part of East London with a lot of gang activity, all right? And you get up in the morning and you're like, guys, did something bad happen? And your roommate's like, nah, mate, just how the fox is having a bad night than you, innit? And you're like, what the hell? And the Brits will complain about them all the time. They're like, oh, these fucking foxes. Coming round here, making a mess, eating our trash. And I hear this and I'm like, man, you don't even know. This is nothing compared to a raccoon. Right? Because raccoons are way worse, all right? But there are pests. They just eat your trash and they make a mess. But they're like tiny little people, right? They got hands. They got opposable thumbs. They got little burglar masks. And they can run around on 2 legs. They're terrifying. And I explained it to the Brits and they go, no, it just sounds like a fox. And I go, no, it's different, okay? Because if I'm walking down an alley in London and there's a fox in the way, I could just like kick it and keep walking. Right? Like I never would. But if I had to fight a fox, I would win, okay? But if you're in Victoria and you're walking down an alley and there's a raccoon in the way, you turn around, find a new way home. Right? Because that's that raccoon's turf. You don't want to mess with it. Because the difference between a fox and a raccoon is a fox will eat your trash and a raccoon will eat your trash and then fuck your mom. And he's got the thumbs too, so she's going to enjoy it. I just know one day I'm gonna go home to Red Deer and I'm gonna look in my mom's room and there'll be a raccoon in there. And my stepdad Tony will be outside and he'll be like, just let it happen. He's the alpha. He's your new stepdad. And you know, that's really hard for me, because growing up, obviously, I never truly had a stable male father figure in my life. And I've only just now truly come to love and accept Tony as my father more than my stepdad, right? And I love him so much. And now he's being cast aside for a fucking raccoon. And I love my mom so much, and I want her to have whatever she needs, and I do believe that older women deserve sexual gratification, but from a raccoon? I just have a hard time wrapping my head around it, right? But I sit down at the dinner table with them, I do. And we'll all be there like a family, right? It's me, disabled wiener dog, gay sibling, my mom, and raccoon dad. And it's okay, you know, but I'll get mad because he's a raccoon and we'll be eating and he'll just start like stealing my food. And I get so upset and I flip the table and I go, fuck you, Mom, fuck you, raccoon dad, I can't be here. And I leave. And I move all the way to Victoria, BC. All on my own. And I don't have any friends here or any family here. And it's the loneliest I've ever been in my life when I move here. And I'm trying my best to build community, you know, but I'm struggling. I'm trying to fuck dudes, I'm struggling. I'm just trying to get connection in some way, and I'll FaceTime my mom and it'll be really nice, you know, she'll show me the little wiener dog, and then I'll see his little hand come in the screen. And I'll shut it off, I'll go, no, I can't see this! And then I finally start to build my life here in Victoria, and I'm proud of it, and I've cut off that part of my family, right? And I get the biggest break of my life. I get to record my album at Hecklers. And this is the most important thing I've ever done in my life, and I'm so excited. And I reach out to all of my family members, I do. I reach out to my mom, my stepdad Tony, my sibling, my biological father who lives in Didsbury, Alberta. I go, this is the night, please show up. And I walked in here tonight and none of them were here. And then I was outside smoking a cigarette. By a trash can. And I heard this little scratching. And in that moment, I learned a valuable lesson. Family is not who's blood related to you. Family is who shows up! Victoria, you are all my family because you showed up. Please show up for your friends and your family. It's the most important thing you can do. It means so much, and I love it so much. Also, I'd like to make it clear my mom did show up tonight. She's an incredible woman, and she flew here from not Red Deer, Kelowna, but she did it. So, give it up for Leah. This is the coolest thing ever. And to have two of my best friends be on the show with me tonight, give it up for Julia Vandersloot and Dan Duvall. I love them so much. Thank you so much. Good night.
Beep boop.